Hello everybody, my name is Gary and welcome back to my channel. Last week's video was a little negative for me. We discussed the books that I almost DNF'd this year. So I figured to counteract all the negativity, we would talk about the books that I absolutely loved this year. These are the books, some of the books, that I have rated 5 stars so far this year. I'm going to try to avoid adding spoilers to this. Last week I was talking about the parts of the books that I didn't like, so that was more spoiler heavy. But this week you are all good. I'm gonna try to avoid adding any spoilers for all of these books because in my opinion these are so good I want you guys to give them a chance too. So I'm just gonna give you a brief plot synopsis and I'm gonna talk about what I liked without going too far into the plot. So the first book that I rated 5 stars this year was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Girl, this book changed my brain chemistry. Oh my god. So I read this for a Goodreads bookmark challenge, and I picked it up because I was like, ooh, it's a romance, you know? I love romance books. And I didn't really know exactly what I was getting into, and I am so happy that I had no idea because when the plot came and hit me in the face, I was like, yes.
And from the sparks of that conflict rise the flames of desire, flames that ignite in an uncontrollable frenzy of lust, passion, and ecstasy.
So the story takes place in Stanford University, where we meet our main character, Scarlett Vandy Vanderbilt, who is on the Stanford diving team. Like most of Allie's books, Vandy is a woman of STEM. Now, Vandy is fairly new to the Stanford diving team. She doesn't really know too many people on the team, and she kind of feels a little ostracized. She had a really bad injury a few years ago, and she's unable to do inverted dives and is going to see a therapist. However, one girl, Penelope, or better known as Pen, quickly snatches Vandy up as a friend. Pen is a pretty popular girl on the team. She partners with Victoria for synchronized diving, and she is also dating Lucas, who is an Olympic gold medalist from Sweden. Lucas just so happens to be in a STEM program as well. However, she confides to Vandy that her and Lucas's relationship is not going too well. They both want different things in the bedroom. And Pen has even confided to Vandy that her and Lucas have secretly broken up. And one drunken night, she even asks Vandy if she wants to have sex with Lucas because Vandy is more into the darker side of the bedroom things. So Lucas and Vandy start hooking up. After a lot of reassurance from Pen that she's completely over Lucas, and my brain absolutely explodes from that point forward.
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
Oh my goodness, this book is like a complete wild ride from like start to finish for me. And it's not for everybody, because I did give this book to my partner's sister to see if she would like it, and she absolutely did not like it at all. And it is very a selective taste of a read, in my opinion. There are some elements of S&M in it. Now, some people who read this book are like, oh, it's S&M light, like this doesn't have S&M in it, like what the hell. But like some people who aren't particularly into S&M, they're not gonna like it, you know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. But it absolutely fried my brain in all the right ways, and I loved it. I enjoyed the ever-living crap out of it, and I don't know if you will, but I know that this is the itch that scratched it for me, and I have been looking for a book similar to this ever since. The next book that I read that was an absolute 5-star for me was The Heir Apparent by Rebecca Artmage. And if that's not how you pronounce her name, I'm so sorry. So this was another Goodreads bookmark challenge, and upon reading that it was about royals, I scarfed it up right away. Growing up, I was a big fan of the Princess Diaries series.
Me? A princess? Shut up!
So the story starts out in Australia, where we have Lexi Villers, who used to be a member of the royal family who left due to the royal family becoming too toxic. She was a spare heir, and she knew that she wasn't going to be in the line of succession, so she decided that she was going to go off and do her own thing. And now she's doing a residency at a hospital when she receives unfortunate news. Her father and brother were involved in a fatal ski accident. Her father and brother were the two who were in succession ahead of her for the throne, meaning that now Lexi is the heir apparent. She is then whisked back off to England, where she is faced with a choice. Either she renounces her role and the heir goes to her uncle Richard, or she stays and becomes the next in line for the throne. So what I think I liked best about this novel was that it really highlighted the royal family and how much pressure everybody is under in that family to be perfect and to do the right thing and to always be on all the time. I really liked Uncle Richard as the villain character. I just felt like he was that little rat bastard. Just you absolutely hated the entire time, and then whenever he was put in his place, you were like, "Yeah, you dick." I also really loved the secrets that this book had. Like, mind-blowing secrets that was just like they came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't expecting the half the stuff that came out. And the thing about me is I am very astute when I'm reading. Like, I usually pick out all of the plot twists, and I wasn't able to, and that's what made this book great in my opinion. I couldn't predict any of it. It had bested me. So the next book that I read that was 5 stars was The Entanglement of Rival Wizards by Sarah Rosh. I don't know what kind of crack Sarah puts in her books, but each and every book that she has written so far that I have read, each and every single one of them just gets better and better and better and better. I read The Nightmare Before Christmas. That was amazing. I read Go Luck Yourself. That was amazing. But they all pale in comparison to this book. So this book takes place in a college called Listeria University. Sebastian Welsh and Elthior Toriel have been at odds for years. Sebastian is in the evocation program, and Elthior is in the conjugation program. Now, Sebastian has a bone to pick with Elthior. He thinks that he is a complete and utter Nepo baby, and he also doesn't like the Toriels to begin with because they are a family that develops a lot of military-grade magic that is used to hurt people, and Sebastian doesn't believe that magic should be used to hurt people. These two programs have been at odds with each other for years. They play pranks on each other, they destroy each other's researches. It's a complete mess. Both Elthior and Sebastian have entered into a grant program, and both of them are competing against each other for the grant. But the grant committee decides to pull a fast one in an effort to pull the two departments together and finally get over their differences.
Stop it. Get some help.
Both Elthior and Sebastian both get joint funding, and they have to work on their projects together. Will they be able to work together, or will they rip each other's heads off? So obviously this is enemies to lovers, and I have a little bit of a soft spot for enemies to lovers when it is done right, and it is done absolutely right in this book, to my standards at least. And also, the spice in this book is probably Sarah's best work in the spice department. So just a little bit of a warning going into it. Sebastian has post-traumatic stress disorder from a situation from when he was a child. So if you are not okay with a story that deals with overcoming childhood trauma and processing grief, if those situations and stories are a little too hard for you, then I would sit this one out. But I enjoyed reading this one. I probably read 75% of it in one day alone. That's how good it was. That's how much I loved it. So it definitely was amazing, and I enjoyed reading every second of it. The next book that I rated 5 stars, we talked about its sequel in the previous week. This week, we're talking about Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I also read this book for a Goodreads challenge as well. This is becoming a theme. Write in the comments what book wasn't a Goodreads bookmark challenge, and you get a cookie maybe. I don't know. While Mate made me not want to finish it at all, Bride made me not want to stop reading. So Bride follows the story of a vampire named Misery who has to marry a werewolf named Lo. This is all a part of a peacekeeping operation between humans, vampires, and werewolves. Misery agrees to become the collateral because she wants more information on what happened to her best friend Serena, who has gone missing over the past few months. And she believes her new husband Lo, who is alpha of the pack that they are now a part of, has some answers as to where Serena might be. Now I know a few of you might think, oh no, vampires, werewolves, this is Twilight, right? No, it's not Twilight. It actually explores a fanfiction trope called Omegaverse. If you've read fanfiction, you don't need me to explain that. But Omegaverse explores fated mates, which is two people who are destined to be together by the bonds of fate. No! Not Twilight!
You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
Okay, maybe a little bit like Twilight, but like Twilight but better, you know? I really like what Allie did with vampires in this book, as well as with werewolves. I like the commingling, but I also like that both sides don't ever trust each other entirely. My only advice to you is, so you don't get spoiled, if you do read this book, do not read the back of Mate. Because if you read the back of Mate, then it just spoils the ending of this book, and it doesn't leave that much of an impact as it should. So don't read the back of Mate, read this book instead, and maybe skip Mate. So the last 5-star read that we're going to be discussing today is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I read this book for another Goodreads challenge. So the book starts off with our main character, Olivia Dumont, in a bit of a financial pickle. She picked a fight with a fellow ghostwriter on Threads, and he ended up suing her for defamation, and he won. So now Olivia owes him and her lawyer a crap ton of money that she does not have. Now, what people don't know is that Olivia is actually the daughter of Vincent Taylor, who is a mystery writer. Olivia and him are estranged, and they haven't talked to each other for several years. Now, Vincent is famous for his mystery novels, but what makes him even more famous is that he is the only surviving sibling in a double murder, which took the lives of his older brother and his younger sister, and nobody knows what happened that night. Nobody knows but Vincent Taylor. So when Vincent Taylor's team contacts Olivia and asks her to ghostwrite his memoir, she has no choice but to accept and learn the truth of what really happened the night that his two siblings died.
The killer is everywhere.
This book was an absolute masterpiece from front to back, and at no point could I have ever picked out the plot twist that happened. I had no idea. Everything was carefully laid out and constructed and given to the audience at a perfect time, and it just set up absolute perfection. This book was absolute perfection, and I hope you check it out. And I see people pick it up, especially the Book Talk girlies, when they go to Barnes & Noble and they do their, I have to buy as many books as I can hold, and if a book falls to the ground, then the challenge is over thing. They pick it up because the sprayed edges. They pick it up because the sprayed edges are beautiful. Absolutely. But you should definitely read the book too, because, like, it's amazing. Alrighty guys, that is going to be the end of the video for today. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button and that subscribe button. My name is Gary, and I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good day, and happy reading!